What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoedotJ and we are locked in. This is episode 5, the recap of Asaf on Netflix. And as I keep saying, Asaf is on the road nonstop. I don't know how many kilometers he didn't put in, but he's on the road nonstop. As soon as he thinks that it's a day to take some rest or he has some family issues, back on the road because they're sending him somewhere. They're really putting that driver to use. Now, before we jump into this and break this down, if you like this kind of content, you like Netflix shows, then hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Make sure you hit that like button, and I'm on that road to 75,000 subscribers, so I appreciate each and every one of you. But let's go ahead and jump into it. This is episode 5 of Asaf, the Netflix recap, and it's day 13 of 31 days. Let's go. Starting off the episode, Asaf has to do something with Atlas number 2. So he takes him to his mom's house. But we already know how his mom feels. They're tearing down the fence, Asaf. You didn't give blood to your dad, Asaf. So he's like, Mom, I just need you to be quiet and watch this boy while I go handle my business. Now, when he leaves, Atlas number 2 is asking her, hey, are you really Asaf's mom? Because he isn't with his parents. I don't even think he really knows who his parents is. He's been on the move and in foster homes. Asaf is on the news because the lieutenant put in that call when he took Atlas number 2. Now his son is at home watching, la-dee-dee, la-dee. Oh, my dad is on TV. I wonder why the cops are chasing him. So of course Sema sees this and she's like, oh my goodness, it's getting serious. Because right now they're making it seem like he kidnapped Atlas number 2. But in reality, he's trying to save him. Asaf, he's on the low. He has to switch out of that bright ass G-Wagon. So he's talking to Murad and he's asking Murad, does he know anything about Paya and Korean? He's like, wait, the stock market? He said, no, the actual company. I'm trying to bring them down. So he's already thinking that this is going to be a huge task because they deal within the stock market, meaning they got a lot of capital, money backing them. So what Asaf is asking is, do you know that old police commissioner? Maybe we can use him as a contact and I can get some kind of information. Asaf goes and meets up with the guy at the dealership. Because his car isn't finished, he can't switch cars. So what he does, he gets a whole fleet of G-Wagons. Of course, this is going to be just like Fast and Furious. Everyone drives G-Wagons to throw the cops off since that's what they're looking for. When he gets here, the guy's like, okay, yeah, you can do all of this. But hey, are you going to the Paya and Korean dinner? Asaf was like, the dinner? He said, yeah, the annual dinner that they have. It's for everybody that's a part of it. And you're part of it, right? Asaf is like, you know what? I am. So he's planning on going to this party and going straight up to Nasu. The journalist and the lieutenant, they have their stare off. Now remember, she's sitting in jail for the death of the captain. Lieutenant is over here. He's rubbing it in too. So what did you and the captain have going on? How did you know the captain? What was your last whereabouts? And she's like, wait, the captain was right. You guys are dirty. He said, oh, is that the captain's last words? Basically saying, I know who killed the captain. You didn't do it, but we're putting the blame on you. So she's sitting here, but she can't do anything behind these bars. Nasu meets up with the detective, and the lieutenant is telling him, we have some informants. But Nasu is saying, the system wants to know who all these informants are so we can know who's backdooring us. But what we're starting to see is everyone try to level themselves up, and the lieutenant says, nah, the system, it's time y'all start treating me right with a little bit of respect. So until I get what I want done, till I get my promotions and my raises, you're not going to get any information. Now, of course, Nasu really can't do anything at this point. He does have all the leverage and power, but he leads the lieutenant because the lieutenant is in control of the police for the most part since the captain is unalived. Asaf shows up to the annual dinner, and when he gets here, clean. It's supposed to be a black tie event, but no ties needed. Puts his phone in the case. No phones allowed in here. He asks for a seat. Now his seat is right next to the contractor who he drove the car through the window. So he goes over there and sit down and everyone's looking like, wait a minute, you're just a driver. What are you doing here? But shh, because Nasu is about to come out and make a speech. When he gets up here, this is like a secret society. The system is for all the successful people. Now you can work your way up in the system, but initially this is for people that are already established and they're taking it to the next level. So he looks in the crowd and he sees Asaf and he starts to mention about a driver that just started a couple of days ago. Now this driver, if they can make it and work themselves up to make it to this banquet, then anyone in here can thrive and be more successful than what they were. But Asaf knows he's talking directly to him, and he's looking up there at Nasu. He's like, man, if only people knew what the system was really doing. We get a flashback of Alice. Now, Alice, he used to be a driver also, but he actually started off valeting cars. Now, Nunsun came out, and he's like, hey, go get my car and get in the driver's seat. He's like, I can't leave my post. I do valet. He said, I own this place. Nasu said, get in the vehicle, and he turned him in from a valet parker to an actual driver. And now we see what Asaf could turn into, because Alice, he done turned into a hitman. He in the club with it. He kidnapping kids. He's all over the place. But this all started from being a valet parker. And Lieutenant ain't playing fair. Lieutenant, he comes up to the banquet himself, and what does he do? He arrests Nasu. Comes up here, you're under arrest. He's like, for what? Security got to stand down. The police, they take him and put him in the back of the vehicle. We're looking at Lieutenant like, man, he wasn't playing around when he said he's going to get treated with some respect around here. Asaf's brother, Aziz, shows up. And he's like, what are you doing here, Asaf? Did you take my name and put it on the list? What are you doing? He's like, man, I work here, but we need to go right now, because he spots something going on behind his brother. He's looking, and it's actually Alice and a couple of his henchmen. So he's like, we got to get out of here right now. We got to go. Now his brother is saying, you're going to mess up everything that I work for. Do you know why that bank gave you your loan? It's because of me. Dad, you're a nobody. I did that for you. But Asaf has actually been working, and he's like, man, forget all of that. We need to go. It's about to get ugly. And that's exactly what happens. Asaf takes his brother to the bathroom, tells him to get in one of the stalls, closes the door, locks it, and outside, it's a bloodbath. Alice and his henchmen, they letting everybody have it. But what they're doing is clearing out everybody that's a part of the system. Remember, all of these people are crooked to a certain extent. And they come through, 3 people, chopping everybody down. I'm talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 100 bodies. Now the contractor Servant, he grabs a gun because he done choked out one of Alice's henchmen. He takes that gun and he's like, oh yeah, I live for this. He pops out with the Thule. He's looking for the other 2. He looks in the wrong direction, and Alice whistles. When he turns and looks, catches one right in the chest, lays him down smoothly. No chance to even react, man. Didn't even get a shot off, but at least he tried. Usually you go out guns blazing. He just went out with a gun. Well, it turns out the lieutenant and Nasu, they had a plan. Remember when they were in the vehicle and the lieutenant was asking for his respect? Well, the plan was, when we have the banquet, you come in there and arrest me, because he's in the interrogation room after being arrested, and they're asking him about the shooting that happened at his dinner. But he says, how would I know anything about that if I've been in the police station with you all? So see, the system is bigger than what you think. The system will always work for itself. Now, we're talking in code when we say the system, but we all know who we're talking about. And Nasu, he's the big dog. He's the big wig behind all of this. Now, Asaf is showing up because we found out that the system is playing very, very dirty. When he gets home, Atlas number 2 is gone because his mom gave him up to someone in a black vehicle. And we know that black vehicle is driven by who? The lieutenant and Atlas. So now they got the kid. Asaf needs to get the kid back, and the mom is talking about, I want you to go to jail. It's like, come on, mom. Every time I take a step forward, you're pulling me back. So Asaf, of course, the day is not done, has to get back in his vehicle and go find out what the hell is going on. After he leaves, he has everyone else driving those G-Wagons. They're getting pulled over. Murat got pulled over, but this is just a distraction. He actually has another vehicle at this point. But once he pulls over, he gets a phone call and he says, they're going to capture you. This is Nasu talking. But then he also says, I need you to go check your trunk because I left you a surprise back there. There's another package I need you to deliver. Just when you thought the day was over with, another package arrives. It turns out this package isn't something you want to play around with. It looks like a lot of explosives with a timer that says 5 minutes. Man, what a day. This is just a Tuesday. What a day. Asaf, you got to figure this out. We got one more episode. All right, there you go. The recap of episode 5. Let me know what you would have done if you seen that explosive in the vehicle. Now, me personally, I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, that's the end game. I'm done. I'm not doing anything else, man. If y'all blow this vehicle up, y'all just do. I'm gonna go leave it by the river, the lake, or something. I'm just leaving it. I'm not messing around with this no more. But make sure you tune in tomorrow. I'm MoedotJ for the last episode, episode 6. Come on, Asaf, you got to get right. I'm MoedotJ. If you like this kind of content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.